Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, welcome to my guest. This is Jan Lewis. Today we have Traci Robidoux on, and she had reminded me that she had been with us a couple of years ago. I don't know how many hundreds of guests go through here, but I felt horrible. She also has a new hairdo, very cute, and that's another reason I didn't recognize her. It's amazing what we girls can do to fool people. It really, really is. Of course, she had, by the way, when you met me, I think my hair was a lot shorter.
It was.
It was. Traci is a nutritionist for the Bay Path Elder Services, and she's going to talk to us today about the Mind Diet, which is also the Mediterranean diet, right, basically?
It's a combination of two diets, the Mediterranean and the DASH
Welcome,
diet.
Traci. Tell us basically what it's like. Give us an idea.
Of the Mind Diet?
Yeah.
So the Mind Diet comes to us at a time where, Americans as a population were living a lot longer, right? But with that comes a lot of concern amongst older adults about losing cognitive function. So, we have all these research-backed diets for heart health, for weight management, for diabetes, and now we have one for our brain. So the Mind Diet stands for Mediterranean Diet Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay.
Are we
So
talking like Alzheimer's, that type?
Yep, Alzheimer's, dementia, cognitive decline. So the research is really promising.
I hope so, because I would love to see them wipe this out or do something within the next, hopefully, 5 years.
Absolutely.
Or less.
Yeah.
Because if you look in the obituary columns, the great thing is 90s, 100 years old. Our grandparents, even my parents didn't see this.
Absolutely.
We're seeing this. But if you look on, maybe you can figure the cause of death. When I see Alzheimer's, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing, the Alzheimer's statistics in the United States are staggering,
Why do you think we're noticing this so much now, or we didn't have the term for it way back?
I just don't think we had the research or the ways to, gather the info. But, it's the sixth leading cause of death in the United States. They're noting that, 1 out of every 3 seniors, when they pass away, that's a disease that they have, is Alzheimer's.
Do you think aluminum, like when we cooked with aluminum, that did a lot, or do you not believe that?
I don't believe that. The cause of Alzheimer's is really unknown, but they're linking it to 3 components really: environment, genetics, and lifestyle. So
Lifestyle, meaning like
diet, physical
This is what you're going to
activity.
share with us, a lot of good things. I was sharing with Traci that I was at the grocery store and I saw something that said lentil salad. It's all made. There's tabbouleh next to it, which I like. Easy to grab if you don't want to make a salad, and I just take some of this. So I thought, well, I'm going to try it because lentils are supposed to be good for you. And it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you just boil them up for 10 minutes or so, right?
Absolutely.
Cool them off and put them in your salad.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
why are lentils so good for us?
They're a legume, so they're, a slow digesting carbohydrate. They're loaded with fiber. They're a good source of protein and B vitamins. Yep.
No
Absolutely.
wonder it's so good for you, because you look for things like fiber and protein. So tell us about a lot more about the diet.
Yeah, sure. So basically it's one smart diet from 2 healthy diets. Both the DASH diet and the Mediterranean diet, the 2 diets that essentially make up the Mind Diet, are very much plant-based. They limit saturated fat, which we know is bad for us. So it's basically made up of 15 components, 10 food groups that are brain healthy, and 5 groups that are brain harming.
Oh, I can't. Well, I want to hear this, boy. Yeah.
So the studies that they did, which I believe came out in 2015, the first study showed that you could reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease by up to 53%.
Oh, to 53%.
By following this.
Okay.
And you could even loosely follow it and reduce your risk by 35%.
I was sharing with Traci that I'm not giving up chocolate. I'm sorry. All right, I know dark chocolate's better, but I favor the other one. So maybe if I take a piece of one and the other.
Right.
I can't give it up. I love it.
So what's on it? So every day You need 3 servings of whole grains.
Yeah.
You need a tablespoon of olive oil.
I put olive oil on salad.
Perfect. You need a serving of vegetables.
Okay. A serving?
Yep.
Okay, like a salad at night before bed.
Well, we'll get to the leafy green component in a minute, but this would be a non-leafy green vegetable, like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots. So a serving of vegetables every day and 5 ounces of wine every day.
I don't drink so.
Well, you can drink grape juice.
Grapes, yes, I have grape juice. Okay.
Yep. So that's a good alternative for the folks who don't drink wine.
Yeah.
So those are the everyday components. Now, on most days, meaning 6 days out of the week, you should have a leafy green vegetable, like a salad. That would be an easy way to incorporate a leafy green, is just adopt a daily salad habit. Spinach, romaine.
How do you stop all those leafy greens? You make a salad, it looks great that day, but of course I wash them, rinse them off. How do you get them not to droop the day after?
They're pretty, that's the thing with produce, is you need to really plan for it. So, when you purchase it, you need to think about you're definitely going to have to use it within 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
You shouldn't wash it until you're ready to use
rinse it. Yeah, I don't put soap on it, just rinse it.
Shouldn't even rinse it until you're ready to use it.
Until you're ready, yeah.
Yeah. Because the water will just break it down.
Oh yeah, because it's like I just spent all this money on all this leafy stuff and
And a good thing, if it's not, you can cook the greens as well. A serving of fresh leafy greens would be a cup, but if you're having it cooked, it's half a cup. Sauteed spinach, things like that, you can whip that up in no time. It's also convenient to keep those types of greens, on hand in the freezer, frozen spinach.
You can freeze it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Or buy just frozen, leaf spinach, collard greens, kale, whatever you like. So that's most days of the week.
I heard kale is very good for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that's dark and leafy and green.
The darker the better, right?
Mm-hmm. Iceberg does not count here.
No, that little round one you get the cheapo one?
No.
Boston lettuce?
Boston counts, actually.
Broccoli, I shove it into the salad,
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
So most days of the week you should have a leafy green. 5 days a week you need a serving of nuts. Okay.
What if you have tummy troubles? Maybe nuts aren't the greatest idea.
If you have trouble either digesting them or chewing them, I would go for a nut butter as an alternative.
Oh, no problem. Like almond butter and that type of
Almond butter,
Love it.
cashew
Love
butter.
It. Oh, yeah.
Those are good alternatives.
Yeah.
And then 4 days a week you need a serving of legumes. So lentils, black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas.
When I think the word legume, I think of a fruit, but it's not. It's a bean.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's a bean. I'll know. Okay. When they say fruit.
So the thing with the Mind Diet and fruit is there are no specific recommendations except for when it comes to berries. So you need to have a serving of berries twice a week. So
I just bought blueberries. They're good for you,
perfect.
right?
Yep. And it's only twice a week. That's the only fruit recommendation.
No
And
bananas, no apples?
Nope. I mean, those are great.
Yeah.
But to be brain healthy, you need the berries at least twice a week.
So I take an apple and I'll put, if in the morning I don't have an egg for protein, I might take an apple, half of it, put some peanut butter on top.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
That's great.
We just found out that maple syrup can be helpful in preventing cancer. Who knew?
Yeah,
So now I'm
I'm
taking
not
a
aware of that
teaspoon of it.
research. Yeah.
Not much, but I'm taking a little.
Yeah.
My husband sent this email to me. I'm like, he finds things and he'll send them to me, and I'm like, well, that's fascinating. So we went right out, got a pure maple syrup.
That's
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's the thing. It's an added sugar though, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, a little teaspoon here.
Yeah. So berries twice a week, along with a serving of poultry.
No problem. Chicken, a lot of chicken.
Yeah. And then once a week, a serving of fish, not fried.
So does that include salmon and tuna?
Absolutely. It would not include things like shrimp, lobster, crab, not shellfish.
Well, how about, hamburger has some, at home you make a hamburger, that's got iron in it, right?
Yep, but actually red meat is one of the brain harming foods. So,
So even a good steak once a month or?
That's okay. They want you to have it less than 4 times a week, actually. But,
Oh, yeah.
But in the red meat group is beef, pork, lamb, and duck.
So pork, that means if someone's having sausages every morning, not a cool idea.
Not a good idea. And plus it's processed.
Okay, so if you go out for breakfast maybe once a month or something like that, it's okay to have it with your big breakfast, your eggs and all.
Sure.
It's just they don't want you doing it as a daily thing.
Absolutely not.
So that's not a good thing.
So anything that's, processed with, all the nitrates and whatnot, the World Health Organization recently classified those as a group 1 carcinogen.
Yeah, hot dogs.
Yeah, in the same group as like asbestos and tobacco. So they're, red meat is also in that category
Wow.
as probably causing cancer.
So like if I buy some frozen meatballs and then I cook them up with tomato pasta sauce,
Mm-hmm.
and if I have that maybe once a week, that's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. Turkey meatballs are a good alternative.
What's the difference in the taste?
I don't think anything.
Okay, good, because it doesn't sound good, but okay.
Yeah, ground turkey or ground chicken. Or you could do like a half and half mixture.
How about eggs? They're in style now.
They
right?
are. No specific restriction or recommendation on the Mind diet for eggs.
Good on eggs.
Yeah,
Good on eggs. Hard boiled, soft boiled, fried,
doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. Bacon, I know it's a nitrite, right?
Yeah, avoid it.
Good. So it's nothing like a good eggs or sausage, eggs and bacon with home fries. Okay, if you go out to eat once a month for breakfast, something like that, cool. I mean, your body can handle it,
Absolutely. Just keep in mind, like, all those would be in the red meat category. So if you're having it less than 4 times a week,
Yeah.
then you're good.
Oh, yeah.
Other brain harming foods, butter and stick margarine, you should have less than a tablespoon a day.
Well, I get the tub, can't think of the name of it. Sometimes it has calcium added.
Is it Country Crock?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll take that. I'll put it on a Raisin Bran muffin in the morning, and I love the taste.
The tub spreads are much better than
Okay,
the
good.
sticks.
Because that's
So
what I do in the morning.
if it's the harder,
Yeah.
the worse it is for
Okay,
you.
no, this is squishy.
Nice and, yeah.
Yeah. Tracy, before we go any further, how can people reach you if they have questions about this?
So I work for Bay Path Elder Services out of Marlboro. My phone number, which you can directly reach me, is 508-573-7258.
Now, she also, I don't want to forget, she brought a popular book called The Mind Diet. You could probably get it in the library too, maybe,
Yep.
right? By Maggie Moon, right?
That's where, I'm
Yeah.
presenting all this research to folks in our service area, and that's where I got the majority of my information from.
And the Alzheimer's Prevention Food Guide.
Also an excellent resource.
Yeah, you don't have to be over 80 to read this, guys. Start early and start reading this.
Well, that's what the research is showing. The earlier you start, the better the results. So, the average age of the participants in these mind studies, believe it or not, was 81. So,
Yeah.
some folks think that it's too late to start. Absolutely not.
I know I was having migraine headaches, a couple of years ago, and I had an MRI. They do that. I guess it's just... And she couldn't see anything wrong, nothing, so it's basically one of those, tension headaches.
Yeah.
So out of the blue, I thought, well, I'm going to pick her brains. I said, you see anything in there that looks like it might not be good going down south? And she said, no, your margins are all clear.
That's good.
So that's one of the key things they look for.
Well, one of the things that's a telltale sign in Alzheimer's is those beta amyloid plaques. So all those plaques that are forming.
Okay.
And the thought is that, lifestyle factors have a big influence on either preventing those or...
Use your mind, do your puzzles at home, even if you're watching TV.
Right, diet is only one component of it.
Yeah.
So, making sure you reduce any stress in your life and making sure you get adequate sleep.
I hear coffee is a good news, too.
Coffee it's not necessarily on this, but I think we might see it on the Mind Diet in the future.
What on the Mind Diet, what do they recommend for things to drink, besides water?
Water.
That's it?
Yeah, unsweetened beverages.
With
milk,
lemon juice.
low-fat milk.
No orange juice.
Yeah.
Low-fat milk, okay, we do that.
Unsweetened teas and coffees.
How about Ovaltine, chocolate-flavored Ovaltine added to the low-fat milk, the no-fat milk?
My guess, I haven't looked at Ovaltine in a while, but my guess it might have a bit of added sugar to it.
How do you get past that? Because regular unprocessed cocoa tastes awful.
I know.
I couldn't
You know,
never.
if you have to use any sweeteners, you know, there's mixed research on like Splenda and
Yeah.
whatnot, but try to use the natural ones like the
Stevia.
stevia.
Okay, that's what I go for, the stevia.
Yeah.
But I've got a sweet tooth, and when I make my coffee, I put just a little bit of that hazelnut flavor, like a,
Yep.
okay, just a little,
Yep.
and then I'll put like 3 stevias in, something like that, because I
Mhm.
really have to be, I don't want dishwater. I want to
Yeah,
taste it, you know.
yeah.
We were talking about the Starbucks bottled mocha flavored coffee. Man, I try to do it once a day. Have one once a day, ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of thought behind the fact that, you know, sugar is addicting, you know?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that if you try to just slowly reduce it in your life, that, you know, eventually you won't miss it.
Is peanut butter on the Mind diet too?
Not necessarily peanut butter. Peanuts, while a lot of folks think it's actually a nut, it's actually a legume. So it's in the same category as
Lentils?
chickpeas. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I didn't know
but
that.
it's definitely good.
But
Good for you to
almond,
have.
yeah, it's expensive. It's about $8 a jar.
The
but
almond butter, yeah.
what do you think is the better one of all the peanut butters? What do you think?
You know, I like both. I don't think there's one that's really better than the other.
So I'd say the almonds, right? They're more nutritious.
If you're gonna go for a snack of like nuts, you know, I would say you will want to go for like almonds or walnuts, pistachios.
Okay. Because, like I said, a lot of people can't eat nuts if they have diverticulitis. So, you know, it's the
Yeah.
last thing they're told. Don't, you know, just get stuck inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
So
the
nut butters.
Yeah, the butters are really, really good. Is there something that on the Mind diet that's really taboo, that people really don't understand?
I don't think so.
Mm.
I think that's what's great about the Mind diet is that, you know, it's really not that difficult to follow or to adhere to. You know, when you think about it, it's really not earth-shattering that you should be having whole grains and you should be having, you know, a leafy green and another vegetable most days of the week. I think people might be surprised that the only fruit recommendation is to have berries a couple times a
Berries,
week.
like strawberries, blueberries.
Yeah.
There's another one too.
Blackberries.
Are blueberries, are they more full of nutrition than even strawberries?
They're both pretty packed with.
Let's say we got a kid, okay, and the kid's going to go to school and you're packing lunch. They love peanut butter and jelly. Okay, I could probably put the almond butter in there, but what do you do about the jelly part?
There's a lot, you know, again, you have to look at your entire eating pattern. And, you know, if that's your only source of added sugar, because those jellies and stuff can be just packed with sugar.
Yeah.
So look for reduced sugar varieties. There's a lot of, you know, that cut the sugar in half, so it's
Yes,
just
it's
not
reduced.
as sweet. Yeah.
Reduced sugar. The only problem is I'm always wondering what additives have they put in there to make it sweet enough.
Well, sometimes they just don't add as much sugar, so it's just not as sweet tasting. You can also go with like the all fruit spreads, you know, without.
Oh, and now where would you get all fruit? Natural.
You can find it just at your regular grocery store.
In the organic section?
Nope. It doesn't even necessarily have to be organic.
And do you have to refrigerate it after you open it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can go, just all fruit means no, does it mean no sugar?
Well, fruit contains sugar naturally
Yeah.
in the form of fructose, so they're just not adding any additional added sugar to
Yeah.
it. So that's what's good about it.
We're talking with Traci Robidoux, and she is Nutritionist for the Mind Diet, Bay Path Elder Services. Traci, somebody would like you to come and do a presentation. How do they reach you?
You can reach me either by email or phone. My email is trobidoux@baypath.org. My phone number is 508-573-7258.
How long have you been interested in nutrition, Traci?
Let's see, I was just thinking about how long I've been a dietitian. It's been 15 years, so...
Yeah. Did you study it in college?
I did.
Where'd you go?
I went to Gannon University.
Where's that?
It's a small private Catholic school in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Haven't heard of it, yeah?
Yeah, so after that I worked in mostly acute care in hospitals.
So you worked
for
in
a
a
long
hospital?
time. Yeah. And then had kids, and when I came back to work, I worked for in community nutrition now.
Do you think that the medical profession is beginning to hopefully pick up on it more and more about, well, the preventative part by the diet?
I think so, absolutely. I think we're moving towards more wellness and preventing disease as opposed to just treating it and waiting for it to arise.
Wait for you to get there, and now you're really sunk.
Yeah.
I know over at UMass Memorial, they did like a rehaul of their cafeteria offerings. I love their sandwiches. It's, good stuff. They will, cook some really nutritious dinners. They have to, I'm sure they got a little pizza on the side. They gotta, you're gonna have to, if you've got kids with you, they're not gonna want to eat, I don't think, some of that stuff. I noticed a change.
Yeah.
Major.
Yeah.
I was a little sad because some of the real sweet stuff was gone.
Yeah.
But I could live with it.
Yeah.
I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're trying.
Absolutely.
But not all hospitals are getting that yet.
No, I don't think so. But I think we're moving towards, even, Baypath administers the Meals on Wheels program too.
Yeah.
So, I have a hand in planning that menu and whatnot. So I think, we're trying to, use more leafy greens and offer more,
Sure. Tracy, do you go to people's homes if you have an elder parent, and you go and you talk about nutrition with them?
Absolutely. I do in-home visits. It's free of charge. You don't need insurance or anything. So I do that for our over 60 clients.
That's the funniest thing when you hear over 60. And you hear people, when they turn 50, it's like the AARP brigade starts like sending all their propaganda. And I know that for probably a lot of my friends, it ended up in the deep six. It's like, what are you doing? I don't want
Why
this.
are you sending me that?
And I remember looking at AARP, gosh, years ago on my parents' coffee table. I thought, oh. I've said this many times before, they have upped their game. They are, they're kind of catering now, not to just our elder generation, but also the boomers, the Gen Xers, because we're all coming up. And they got to make it look more fun.
Absolutely.
I began noticing the covers and the articles. I'm like, they're changing their A game here.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the baby boomer population.
Yeah. Well, you're Gen X. You're right behind us. So it's like, it's one big one. Then they're saying that the millennials, my son, I don't know if I believe this, they're saying they're bigger than the boomers?
Yeah, I think they are.
How
I think
can
they're
that
the biggest generation.
Well, I know there were a lot of kids in school. I mean, ADHD was the soup du jour when my son was growing up. Oh my God, give him Ritalin. I don't know if it made it any better or any worse. I really, really don't. But I know he resents it.
Yeah.
A lot of kids like, why did you? Because we were told it was the thing to do,
Absolutely.
and the teachers didn't know what to do with you.
Right.
They're like, you got to do something.
Right. Now they have, individualized lesson plans for kids like that, and
autism too. If you catch it early enough, they can actually rise above it and just continue like a regular kid.
Absolutely.
Thank God. Autism seems to be the big thing now. And I'm wondering what happened to our other generations? Why wasn't that even figured in? What was it called?
Why weren't they diagnosing it? Yeah.
They weren't even diagnosing. So do you go to senior centers, Tracy?
Absolutely. That's part of my job. That's where I've been presenting the Mind Diet, bringing the information to folks. So I visit all the senior centers really in our service area.
In the Baypath. Now, where is the Baypath service area?
Our office is in Marlborough, but we cover, Natick, Wayland, Sudbury, up to like Northborough, Westborough. Ashland, Hopkinton, Holliston.
They're so close to here, and then there's that cutoff.
I know.
So
you guys are Tri-Valley.
Tri-Valley. I wish they could sort of bring it all together.
The Tri-Valley, if you are, they have a dietitian as well, who I'm sure would love to.
Sure. I hadn't even heard about that, but definitely I read about, did you do something, was it in the newspaper recently? Were you, I don't know if you gave a presentation, I read something about it, they did a story about it. Were you up at the here at the street, at the,
I was at the Hopkinton Senior Center not too long ago.
Yeah. Is it well attended? I would think it would be.
Yeah, absolutely. People are really interested in it.
Definitely. I'd like to encourage even people under 40, let's go, because...
Right, it's never too late to start. The earlier you start, the better the results, so...
I know anything obituaries I'll see 90s and up. Suddenly there seems to be, I notice a dearth in 70s, which is good for your 70s, 80s, then it goes down 60s, and then younger. I'm thinking, what happened?
I know.
What made that happen so much? I really don't know. What's one of the best things on the Mind diet that you suggest? What are the best things that you can ingest?
Oh gosh.
Maybe every day, every single day.
A leafy green.
A leafy green, not the little brown lettuce, the cheap one. It's the other stuff.
Right. A leafy green and one other vegetable. You know, if
Okay.
you can make any changes to your eating pattern, I would suggest starting there.
Okay, carrots are good.
Carrots are great. Yep.
You ever notice when you go to a restaurant, they skimp on the tomatoes? Is it because of money?
I don't
What the
know.
heck is it?
I think it varies. You know, sometimes they're depending on like the market price and
Yeah.
in season availability.
You know, we've gone out to eat and it's like, where's the tomato in this salad?
Right,
And
right.
like, yeah, I think maybe we start sending it back and say, you put one in here, please?
Right.
What's so good is it? I know.
The Mind diet did show that, you know, if you have the leafy green almost every day, but if your other vegetable was a cruciferous vegetable,
Mhm.
like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, those people performed better cognitively
Really?
than those who were just eating, you know, let's say a carrot or zucchini or squash, something like that.
How about, I have, what's it called? Oh, it starts with, I sprinkle it on my toast. It's not bran, it's,
Wheat germ?
no, it starts with an F. Flaxseed.
Yeah.
Flaxseed.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be very good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put that on. How about honey? What is honey good? Is that any good for you?
It's a good alternative to, you know, tabled, you know, white sugar, but it's still an added sugar.
How about salt and pepper? Big controversy on
The less salt you use, the better.
my family growing up was you salt before you ate.
Yeah. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is watching people salt their food before they even eat it.
Years and years ago, I dated him. He's still a friend of mine, and his brother, he brought me to visit where he and his brother lived, and on their coffee table was a book called Killer Salt. I think they left it out there for me to sit. I'm like, oh, no. I'm trying to get away. I add more garlic salt, or
Good.
powder.
Garlic powder, yeah.
Garlic powder.
Onion powders, yeah.
Turmeric is one of the best things, right, you can add?
Yeah, turmeric has gotten a lot of research lately, and I think we might see it as a spice on the Mind diet in the future, but...
It's cumin, isn't it the same?
Curcumin is...
Same with curcumin.
Yeah. Curcumin is the element in turmeric that's got all the properties.
And curry's good for it. I mean, all that stuff. The Indians eat very well.
Well, if you take
Yeah.
a look at, you know, the incidence of Alzheimer's in those countries, it's a lot less than
It's
it
a
is
lot.
here.
That aluminum foil thing really ratcheted up some anxiety because I remember as a child, or during the years you could cook a baked potato in aluminum. Now, it's been years since I've cooked anything.
Oh, really?
I might cover a chicken with it
Mm-hmm.
in the oven,
Yeah.
but I even get worried about that.
Well, I mean, I think you'd really have to be overdoing it to get,
Yeah,
you know.
because it bothered
I
me.
mean, there's aluminum in deodorant, so, I mean...
I know it. I know it. Do a lot of the seniors find this easy to follow? Or anybody easy to follow?
I think so. It's much less strict than the two diets that it comes from,
Yeah.
the Mediterranean and the DASH diet. So, where they have specific, you know, restrictions on dairy, and they recommend multiple fish meals per week. You know, this is only asking you to do fish once a week. You know, 3 servings of whole grains every day.
Well, I have to put a little bit of mayonnaise. I can't just eat the tuna straight up. It's got to have a little mayonnaise in the.
Yeah, it's okay.
What's the best bread?
Anything that's 100% whole wheat.
In it. Yeah, it tastes awful. I like rye and raisin bread.
Those aren't whole grains.
Oh. Okay, how about the compromise? I sprinkle the whole grains on it.
Like the flax.
Yeah.
Now it has to, is it ground?
Yes, and I have Scottish
Okay.
oatmeal I put on, or a
Okay.
little bit of, what's that oatmeal guy, the old guy that looks like...
Quaker.
Okay, I take a little raw Quaker, I'll put that on it, because I
On your
kind of like
bread?
cancel out the best. Yeah, on toast, sure.
Okay.
That's okay, that's cool.
Well, it's better.
Okay, there's some things I'm like, you get used to it. I couldn't go to school. Mom would make me have an egg, toast, I think she had bacon, and juice. Well, until I got too old, but she would sit me down and make sure I had breakfast.
Right.
Couldn't go to school without it.
Absolutely.
Now I love breakfast.
Yeah.
Tracy, thanks so much for being
Thank
with
you
us.
for having me.
The Mind
Appreciate
Diet.
it.
And if you're interested in this type of thing, she recommends the book, The Mind Diet,
Yep.
and by Maggie Moon. Maybe go downstairs, go to your local library, pick this up. And the Alzheimer's Prevention Food Guide by two people, Stillman and Sapphire Waite.
Yep.
There's a mouthful for you.
Both
So
really
those
good resources.
You highly recommend these. These are really, really good.
Great recipes too. So
Yeah, I'm just learning. Like, I'm a new neophyte here, too. I'm learning about the lentils because for a long time I thought, that sounds icky. But now it's not. I'm just adding them to my salad.
they're great.
And then olive oil and vinaigrette.
Absolutely. Olive oil should be your main cooking oil. So.
Oh, I use it a lot. I like to dip. If I have a slice of pizza, I'll dip it in olive oil. Is that good? With a little garlic?
That's making the pizza better.
I'm not giving up. Pizza.
No, I agree. Pizza's my downfall. So.
Now, Chinese, I know, is loaded with stuff.
Oh yeah.
But if you don't do it very often,
Right.
moderation. My great grandma was 96. Moderation.
Everything in moderation, including moderation.
She was really up there.
Right.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. I'll be my guest.